The Thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parx Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parx Racing for Let's Go Racing. We're thrilled that you're with us here this morning because we have another big show this past weekend. One of the marquee events of the summer, the Grade 1 Haskell Invitational for Monmouth Park. Bob Baffert saddled the favorite looking for his 9th, Dick, yes, his 9th, that's not a misprint, victory in the Haskell. We'll have that coming up in just a little bit. We'll go up to Saratoga, 3-year-old fillies, in the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. More graded action from Monmouth and Saratoga as well over the next 30 minutes here on Let's Go Racing. Hi everybody, Keith Jones down on the beautiful first floor, and he is the man. His name is Dick Girardi right here to my left. And Dick, we're going to get to the Haskell Invitational here in just a minute. We talked about Bob Baffert. We'll talk more about Bob, but we have some serious local flavor this year in this huge race.
Yeah, we do indeed. NY Traffic is mostly owned, majority owned by John Finelli, who everybody's familiar with around here, has owned horses, has a number of trainers, including Harry Weiner, who was on the show with us last week. John, along with a guy named Lenny Liberto, bought this horse at Timonium last year. Actually, RNA'd. He didn't sell for what they wanted. They ended up buying him after the sale for $22,000, Keith.
$22,000.
NY Traffic. John since bought Lenny out. Harry trained him as a 2-year-old. Then he went to Florida with Saffie Joseph. Chuck Zackney is bought in for 20%, Glenn Bennett for 20%, and Paul Braverman, a Florida owner, for 10%. So this horse is 90% owned by players who have horses here right at Parx. Chuck and Glenn and obviously John.
Dick, when you look at the Derby points and you see New York Traffic right up there in the top, toward the top of the list, it is very cool. Of course, we had Barbaro, we had a Fleet Alex,
right.
But in terms of horses that were actually stabled here, we haven't been involved with the Kentucky Derby since back when some horse named Smarty Jones ran.
Yeah, now that's right. To get to this stage where we're through the final prep races, we have not had a Parx-centric horse since Smarty Jones. And of course, NY Traffic started his career at Parx. I wrote about it this week on Let's Go Racing, Parx.com. His first race was the second race on PA Derby Day last year. And his first race, and then his second race was here as well. So yeah, very much a Parx-centric horse. He's now training in Florida and then Saratoga, but yeah, how about that? Parx rooting interest in the Derby.
We'll get more on that in just a little bit. Dick, we mentioned Maximum Security supposed to be in action at Del Mar this past weekend, but that virus got in the way.
It did. They had 15 jockeys at it. Del Mar test positive, so they just had to shut the whole thing down. They're going to have to wait 2 weeks to run again, so they're going to bring that race back this Saturday, Maximum Security. But you know, Keith, what they're doing now, like New York has said, look, if you're going to be at Saratoga, that's it. You're not leaving and coming back, and nobody's coming in. It's just that I think that's how they're going to do it at Del Mar and a number of other places. But it does bring up a very interesting question for September 5th at Churchill Downs. They're going to have a very short meet surrounding the Kentucky Derby. Are all these great jockeys who are riding all these top horses, are they going to be let into Kentucky to ride in early September? Very interesting question.
Testing. Well, Dick, let's get to that big race this week. We're going to, again, take a little license with our local race. We're going to go up and take a look at the Grade 1 Haskell. 9 furlongs, $1 million purse, Derby points involved. Dick, we mentioned Bob Baffert. He saddles the favorite Authentic, who goes off at 3-5 as Bob looks for win number 9 in the Haskell. Dick, he suffered his first defeat last time out of the Santa Anita Derby when he did not make the lead. When he does make the lead, you ain't going to catch him.
Now, he's a really nice horse. And last time, Keith, he had the 7-hole. He broke outside. He was 7 of 7. Kind of got behind, and then he was dueling with horses and never comfortable, and got run down by a very good horse in Honor AP. But the logical favorite, and as you said, Bob going for Haskell number 9. His first was in 2001 with Point Given. He hasn't won it in 5 years, Keith.
And he still has 8.
Yeah, American Pharoah was his last win.
Now, the second choice, number 1, Dr. Post, is 9-5 for Todd Pletchard. I want to ask you, is the glass half full or is it half empty here? If it's half full, he ran second behind Tisdall on the Belmont Stakes. If it's half empty, what did he really beat when finishing second at the Belmont Stakes?
Yeah, look, it was a very weak Belmont Stakes. Tisdall just stood over the field. He was the only Grade 1 winner. And so, yeah, some of each maybe.
Right.
Second to Tisdall is pretty solid. Joe Bravo was supposed to be Irad Ortiz to ride, and he had to stay at Saratoga, but not a bad pickup when you get Jersey Jack.
At Monmouth Park, yeah, I'd say so. Dick, New York Traffic draws the outside post number 7. Some late money brings him down to 5-1. And you'd look at his progression. Now, first of all, he's still kind of looking for that signature win.
Yep.
But he has run really well in some big races coming up to this and just continues to improve.
I do not remember seeing a buyer figure pattern like this on any 3-year-old of recent vintage. Saffie Joseph brought him out in his first 2-turn race, 11th of January, 77 buyer. Comes back 82 in the Risen Star, went third. 89 went second in the Louisiana Derby. 95 went second in the Matt Win. So each race is better than the one before it. He's obviously going to have to take another jump here to have a chance to win the Haskell.
Frank Miramati has the call of the Haskell.
Authentic gets a very easy lead. He's in front by a length and a half, racing a bit off the rail. New York Traffic is in second. Jesus' team third. Lebda is racing in fourth. Then it's Ancient Warrior racing in between horses fifth, 4 lengths off Authentic. Dr. Post having to steady just a touch, and a 2.5 length gap to Fame to Famous. They're heading toward the half-mile pole in the TBG.com Haskell Stakes, and it's Mike Smith and Authentic carving out the fractions. Clear by almost a length to New York Traffic in second, and Jesus' team third, Lebda fourth. This is the way it's been throughout. Dr. Post asks for more on the inside fifth. He's 6 lengths off the lead. Ancient Warrior is losing ground. Fame to Famous has trailed throughout. Authentic takes him past the 3/8 pole, in front by a length. He's doing it effortlessly thus far. New York Traffic, hard-ridden, trying to cling to him. Dr. Post switches to the outside of Jesus' team. They turn for home. Authentic by a length. New York Traffic won't go away. He's trying hard, and Dr. Post finding his best stride, but has 5 to make up. Authentic just breezing through the stretch. Opens up to lead it by 3 lengths. New York Traffic trying so hard, and he is closing the gap now. Here comes New York Traffic after Authentic. Authentic, New York Traffic are going to hit it together. Here it is. Photo finish, Authentic and New York Traffic.
Well, Dick, they come off the turn at Authentic, spurts away, gets clear probably about 3 lengths with about a furlong to go.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yes.
But you know what? Maybe it's not over. Look at this. New York Traffic, with courage and determination, closes the gap, only to come up a nose short. Yes, a nose short. Excruciating defeat for these guys. Authentic gets the nod by a nose, pays $3.20 to win. And Dick, let's talk about Bob first of all. There's Haskell win number 9.
Yeah, Haskell win number 9, and was the horse, as Bob suggested, looking around? Was that what was going on, or was he getting leg weary at the end? I kind of leaned to the latter in watching the replay. I think maybe he was getting a little tired, but you know what? Speed's dangerous. You get him to the Derby. If he's lone speed, he can be done.
Dick, New York Traffic. I mean, it looked like it was over. He just refused to give up, and again, continues to improve. That was a 100 buyer.
Correct.
And he looks like a real contender.
No, I think he's a serious contender. Any top 5 list of Derby contenders today must include NY Traffic. He's got 110 points, which puts him 4th on the list. But yeah, I mean, who's the list? Tis the Law, Authentic, Honor AP, Art Collector, King Guillermo, and NY Traffic.
Yep.
And I would put him ahead of King Guillermo at this point. So maybe he's 5th on the list. But that means he's going to be, say, 10 or 12 to 1 in the Derby. And Keith, I think there's a chance we're not going to have 20 horses this year.
Right.
It's later. A lot of the horses already have proved they're not good enough. Many are off the trail that would have been around there in May. So maybe you can get a normal-sized field. Now that they finally have a 20-horse starting gate, they might not need it.
And Dickie has that up close to the pace style too that can always play dangerous.
I talked to John Sunday morning, John Finelli, the day after the race, and I said, John, those are the horses that win the Derby in these big fields, the ones that instead of a 20-horse field, make it into a 3-horse field, a 4-horse field. They never see the rest of the horses because they're up near the top.
Well, we had a chance to catch up with John Finelli and talk about the Haskell.
Well, John, that was quite a horse race at Monmouth Park on Saturday. Tell me a little bit about your feelings right now about how the horse ran.
Oh, I thought he ran an unbelievable race. We expected him to run big, but not that big, especially against a speed horse like Authentic on a speed favoring track. Couldn't have rode him better. We're just super proud of him, the jock, the trainer. Everybody just did their part.
Take me through the race from the beginning.
Well, it looked like Paco broke out a little bit. I think being in the 7 hole with no horse next to him looked like he kind of broke out a little bit. But you see, he did a really nice job of basically cutting the 6 off, pushing him to the rail and taking that second position and not losing too much ground to Authentic coming from that 7 hole.
During the stretch, it looked like Authentic moved out a little bit away from your horse, but what a stretch drive. Your horse really fought gamely.
Yeah, midway through the stretch, it looked like he wasn't getting anything, maybe 4th or 5th. Looked like he was slowing down, getting tired. I thought the pace was pretty good, but he just keeps fighting. Every race we put him out there, he just proves us, right every time. He just does the right thing. He's just an incredible horse, and he's been improving every single race. His Beyer figures, I believe, went from 76 to 85 to 90 to 95, and now 100 Beyer, which is incredible. Just wish we could have got the win.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating when you lose by a nose.
Especially a grade 1 where it, really, helps the horse's value, and people don't remember that you finished second by 4 inches. You finished second.
How did he come back?
Excellent. He's already shipped up to Saratoga. He'll be training there up to the Derby.
So that's what's next, the Kentucky Derby?
Yes, sir.
What's that going to be like, do you think? I've had a dream about this.
I've been there once, but as a spectator, never had a horse in that race, and obviously it's a dream come true, and just hope we can, keep him safe and sound until then.
Well, Dick, John Finelli was not involved in just the Haskell on Haskell Day, but in the Monmouth Cup as well with Math Wizard. And guess what? When we come back after the break, we're going to have that. So we'll be right back after this.
Math Wizard is picking up some nice momentum, moving into 4th on the outside of Monongahela at the top of the stretch.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stables.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time for more national coverage. It's brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. Back up to Monmouth Park on the pre-Haskell card, or on the Haskell card before the Haskell, was the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup. And Dick, the Monmouth Cup is 1 mile and 1/8 as well. And we're going to get to Math Wizard here in just a minute. But number 1, Global Campaign is the 5-2 choice here for trainer Stanley Huff. Now, Dick, he was a good 3-year-old, won the Peter Pan, came out with a big start in his 4-year-old debut, but then kind of bounced off of that big effort.
Yeah, it was like a bad start. He never got position in that race, the blame at Churchill Downs. Kind of put a line through it. He's clearly better than that race. He showed it.
Second choice is number 9, Bal Harbor, who's 3-1 for trader Greg Sacco. Now, Dick, he was 0 for 7 last year, but he also really ran well in a lot of big races.
He did. He was in the Woodward, he was in the Island, he was in the Cigar Mile, so he was in against a lot of the heavyweights. This isn't that race.
And he was in the hunt in all of those races. Number 5, Math Wizard, John Finelli back now. He's 9-1. Now, Dick, he won the Pennsylvania Derby, obviously, last year with that big late run to get up in the final strides. But since then, he has not topped 91 on the Beyer figures.
Yeah, he hasn't. Look, I think the Breeders' Cup, he beat all the 3-year-olds. Nobody was beating Vino Rosso that day in the Classic. The Razorback, it just didn't really have it. The Gulfstream race was a little better, Keith.
Yep.
So they're racing him back into shape. And remember, he went to Dubai for the World Cup, and that turned out to get canceled, and he was in quarantine, and he wasn't in Florida. So it's just kind of been a mess. They're just regrouping, and I know from talking to John, he thought they were getting closer to where this horse's top 4 was.
Yeah, he looked a little better last time out.
He did, yeah.
Let's see if he can take a step forward. Here's the Monmouth Cup.
And it's Global Campaign cruising along up top, leads it by a neck, and Jovia's right with him in second. Bal Harbor, Monongahela right together the entire journey. Another 3 lengths back. Harper's first ride is losing ground steadily. Math Wizard moving up between horses. Senior Investment to his inside. Then Just Whistle and Core Beliefs. Midway around the far turn. Global Campaign trying to fend off Jovia. He has a new challenge in the form of Bal Harbour with a 3-wide bid. Math Wizard is picking up some nice momentum, moving into fourth on the outside of Monongahela at the top of the stretch, and Bal Harbour is now let loose on the outside of Global Campaign. Math Wizard is coming after Bal Harbour, and Global Campaign is not done. He is resilient on the inside. Global Campaign turns away Bal Harbour, and then Math Wizard rallies into second.
Well, that Global Campaign looked to be in some trouble here at the top of the stretch, but he kind of re-broke and ended up going on to win it by a length and a half. We expected him to put in a better effort. He did so. Ended up paying $7 to win. But who closed really well for second? But Dick Math Wizard. He looked much better here running second behind Global Campaign. But John Finelli runs second in the Haskell, and he runs second in the Monmouth Cup.
Yeah, that looked like the Pennsylvania Derby. Math Wizard, same move, coming wide, rolling down the lane. And the numbers said it was basically the same race. He got a 99 in this race, which is what he got in the PA Derby. He is off to Saratoga, where he's stabled along with NY Traffic. I don't know whether they're going to try to run him up there, maybe in the Woodward at the end of the meet or something. But Math Wizard, I think, is back to close where he was here last fall. Now, is that good enough to beat the Toms d'Etats of the world and that crowd? That's another question.
Well, here's more with John on that race with Math Wizard in the Monmouth Cup.
I knew he was going to run a big race. I was telling the trainer and the other guys all week. We looked back at the last race, which was an allowance race at Gulfstream. But if you look at who was in that race, it was basically like a Grade 2 race. So and going one-turn mile, I don't think it's his forte. So stretching out to a mile and an eighth with some speed in front of him. And I knew he was doing well and needed that other race because we missed some time when we went over to Dubai. I just had a really good feeling he was going to run a big race. And he actually ran a 99 Beyer, which equaled his effort in the Pennsylvania Derby.
You had quite a day on Saturday, didn't you?
Unbelievable. I'm blessed.
Well, Dick, I had a chance to text John after the two big races, and again, it's kind of the half full, half empty. Yeah. You run great in two big races, but you don't come home with a win. How tough is that?
Yeah, well, look, the good news, at least in the certainly Math Wizard, you want to win any race you're in, but for NY Traffic, that really sets them up perfectly for the Derby, which was the goal anyway, right? I mean, you'd love to win the Haskell. That's a huge race in its own way, but hey, they paid $22,000 for this horse, and it's going to be like 10 or 12 to 1 in the Derby. But yeah, of course you want to win, and he ran a winning race, just didn't win.
Well, let's go up to Saratoga, Dick, for one of their feature races on Saturday. And is this the longest stakes name of any stakes in the country?
Yes.
The National Museum of Racing Hall of Fame Stakes.
Yes.
We get 3-year-olds on the grass here at 1 mile and 1/8. And Dick, number 7, Decorated Invader out of the Christophe Clement barn, wearing those West Point colors, goes off at 2 to 5. And he is an outstanding 3-year-old grass horse.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 this year, and it was really impressive in the Pennine Ridge at Belmont. Keith, this horse should have won the Breeders' Cup Feud on turf. He was 4th, beaten 2 lengths. He was 5 lengths the best. I sent Terry a text after the race. I said, look, you're really unlucky, but you're going to have a great 2020, and he's off to a great start.
Well, you're up at Saratoga. You're on the grass. You're going to have to beat some guy named Chad Brown. And he saddles number 1, Domestic Spending, was off at 5 to 2. All he is he is unbeaten. And Dick, what more can you say? But it's Chad.
It's Chad. He wins his maiden. He wins on one other than, and you're saying, hey, it's Chad. He's back. But you know what, Keith? This horse doesn't run very fast, Chad. But it scares you just because he's the trainer.
Decorated Invaders 2 to 5. Here's the call.
Gets Smokin', the leader here by more than a half dozen lengths. Decorated Invader remains in second. Now it's 4 lengths back to Moon over Miami. And then Ever Dangerous and Domestic Spending remains at the back. Half mile, 48 and 4/5 seconds. Get Smokin' holding on to the lead here, and the lead is 8 lengths as they approach the far turn. Decorated Invader has been second the entire way. They're going around the far turn. It's Get Smokin' in front. The lead is down to 4 lengths. Decorated Invader getting closer in second. Get Smokin'. The lead is now 2.5 lengths, with Decorated Invader in second. Then Ever Dangerous, Moon over Miami, and Domestic Spending. And the field is in the stretch. It is Get Smokin' on the inside and Decorated Invader on the outside. From the back of the pack, it's Domestic Spending, who is putting in a late run here. It's Get Smokin', Decorated Invader, and then Domestic Spending, Decorated Invader.
Well, Dick, I'd have to think that Terry and the West Point guys are Really excited about this horse. Decorated Invader wins this one by a length and a quarter, pays $2.80 to win. And you would have to think that he is on a very short list among the best 3-year-old grass horses in the country.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. And there are obviously races out there for him that he's going to be a heavy favorite. And so it's great for Terry. I sent him another text Saturday night after the race. I said, you know what, the first Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf was run the first year they had Fridays. It was at Monmouth Park in 2007. And I made a pretty big bet on a horse in that race, trained by Christophe Clement, who had a ton of trouble in that race. And I said to some friends that night, I said, this is going to be a really good horse. Horse's name? Gio Ponte.
Really?
As a 2-year-old. Yeah. I said, if you can become Gio Ponte, then you got something going for you.
The big turf race on the Monmouth program was the Grade 1 United Nations 1 mile and 3/8. Deck number 1, Arklow, was the 6-5 choice for trainer Brad Cox. And Dick, kind of a strange move here for Brad. He doesn't usually do this. Arklow ran 6 days ago down at Keeneland, and he's going to bring him back on very short rest, and you got 6-5.
Yeah, listen to the Randy Moss on the broadcast. He said he had talked to Brad Cox, and Brad said he didn't think the horse ran because he was behind. He always comes from way back, right? So he's behind fractions 52-118. He had no chance. So he said, you know what, it was like a workout. So he decided to bring him back in 6 days. But I will say this, Keith. Never take 6-5 on Arklow, ever. I mean, he just comes from too far behind.
Dick, one of the best long-distance grass trainers in the country is Mike Maker. He saddles a couple of horses in here. Number 3, Mugs of Maddox, the second choice at 9-2. His last 6 starts, he's 4 wins in 2 seconds. Hasn't been this far, but again, Maker knows how to make them run long.
He does. He's as good as it gets, and this is another horse that Mike has claimed for $25,000 and makes him into a stakes horse.
Here's the UN Grade 1 race.
Around that turn, and it's Perret in control, leading by a length and a half. Dionysus has been second the entire way, with Aquaphobia and Corelli side by side. Then it's Mugs-O-Matic on the inside of Current. Eve's Medal is now dropping back, standard deviation just outside of him, and Arklow has 8 lengths to make up as they come to the half-mile pole in the Grade 1 United Nations Stakes. Perret has been the controlling speed. Dionysus a length back in second, Corelli into third. Down at the rail, Aquaphobia has saved every inch of ground in fourth. Current is next, Mugs-O-Matic, followed by Standard Deviation. Arklow moves up on the outside of him, still 7 off the lead. He'll be caught wide. Eve's Medal is at the back. They're a quarter of a mile from home. It's Perret in front. Aquaphobia is asked to come after him in second. Outside of that pair comes Corelli in third. 4 lengths back to Arklow. They're in the final furlong. And now Aquaphobia angles out and takes a crack at Perret. Perret, Aquaphobia right to him. And it's Aquaphobia under a perfect ride from Joe Bravo.
Well, Dick, how often do we see this happen? A trainer saddles more than one horse in a race. And the big price is the one that wins. It's our man Mike Maker. It's number 5, Aquaphobia. You get 10-1, 23.40 to win. And Dick, he got a great trip, but he also ran really well.
Yeah, another Mike claimed this horse for 62.5. Turns him into a Grade 1 winner. And look, whenever I think of the United Nations, I think of the late great Bob Levy, because this race was run for years at Atlantic City Racecourse and had some of the greatest grass horses in American history win this thing.
Well, time to head to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. Jockey and Trainer of the Week and more graded action. We'll take a look at that after this.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time to give out our weekly awards. Our Jockey and Trainer of the Week brought to you by the great Turning for Home program. the absolute best in the industry
No doubt
for
about it.
retiring racehorses, turningforhome.org. Get involved today. Jockey of the Week. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago, but how about Angel Castillo?
Yep.
Not 2, not 3, but how about 4 wins on a program last week? So Angel is our Jockey of the Week and our Trainer of the Week. We talked to Harry Wider about this guy, Harold Wiley.
Yep.
Since we have come back, has had a really good start coming back. We don't get to talk about him too much, but how about that? Harold Wiley is our Trainer of the Week. Dick, we also want to remind the folks again that you can come out. We do have the old social distancing and everything back here at the track, but the fans can come out and enjoy the races. And as you've talked about, you can bet on your phone with that app stuff.
Yeah, no, the Parks app, this phone bet app, you can bet there if you can't make it out to the track. But yeah, we're open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for live racing. And yeah, you can come out, and there, if you look around when you get out here, there's places to stand, to bet that's 6 feet apart, so you'll be fine. Everything will be good.
You're all about those phone apps, aren't you?
I am.
Let's get to Race Recap. Race Recap brought to you by Peter Stable. Log on to their website at peterstable.com and become an owner today. Let's go back out to Saratoga, the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. Grade 1 race for 3-year-old fillies at 1 mile and an 1/8. Dick, number 1, Totalist Shape is 6-5 for Safi Joseph. She comes into the race at 6 of 7. She's only lost once, but you're going to change the equipment today and put blinkers on. Why mess with Success? She runs terribly. Number 6, Paris Lights for our guy Bill Mott.
Yeah, Paris Lights and Crystal Ball basically hook up from the start. Crystal Ball, it's Baffert and Mott, and they've had some battles in this race before, so looks like Crystal Ball maybe is going to hold on right till the end. Paris Lights finally gets back. I would say this, Keith, this is an 87 buyer. They'll probably be in the Kentucky Oaks, but no threat to Gamine and Speech and Swiss Skydiver in that crowd.
$6 to win on Paris Lights. Dick, Ion Racing, you mentioned Maximum Security. No San Diego Handicap last week, but San Diego Handicap later today.
Right, and I'm assuming Louis Science is not going to leave Saratoga to ride. It sounds like Abel Cedillo is going to ride the horse, and we'll see what happens after that. But my guess is San Diego, Pacific Classic, Breeders' Cup Classic would be my thought. Maybe Bob has something else in mind, but yeah, I think. And look, if Maximum Security's back to what he was with Jason Service, then he's a player.
And up at Saratoga, the Grade 2 Ballston Spa, that's probably going to be Chad again, and then the Grade 1 Vanderbilt and Dick Firenze Fire, probably going to be the favorite there.
Yeah, no, it's always fun. It's great to watch the Saratoga and Del Mar races in the summer.
Well, let's get up to news and notes. That'll be coming up next. And Dick, I believe you have a little shout out.
I do.
A special one. Stay with us. Be back after this.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing News and Notes. Our final segment brought to you by the Granny Fund. Get involved with that continued education on the backstretch. Help somebody out and do it at the Granny Fund. Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones, and Dick, you mentioned Saratoga Del Mar. They just opened Saratoga this past weekend, and from everything I read, everybody up there said just how incredibly strange it was with no fans.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the most attended race meet of the year. Everybody loves to go up there, and it's just weird. It's nice that we get to see it, and they get to run, but Saratoga without fans is not Saratoga.
Dick, we've talked about our friend Trish Bowman, who was just absolutely the greatest intern we ever had a chance to deal with, and Trish's dad is one of our great fans.
He is. Al Bowman's birthday is tomorrow, and we are going to wish him a happy birthday. He's a very loyal watcher of the show, so Al, happy birthday to you tomorrow.
And I want to say hi to Trish as well. We haven't had a chance to say hey to her, so wish her the best as well. Come out and enjoy racing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here at Parks at 12:55. Enjoy the simulcast as well, and we will see you right here next week on Let's Go Racing.